I believe that this isn't out for purchase as of yet, but there are review uh, products of these that have been sent out, and I've seen quite a few videos and people discussing about the GPD Win 3 or Window 3. Now, the GPD Win thing has been a series. This is the third installment. This is the best looking one, and from initial glimpses of it, you get it in grey and you get it in white. I'd love one of these. What it is that they are marketing it right now as the world's first Windows 10 slider candy bar handheld game console. So it's probably the size of a candy bar. Apparently it's quite heavy. And at the screen, as you'll see on the screen right now, you can actually slide up the screen to reveal a keyboard. Now the keyboard itself isn't like a clicky down type of click click keyboard. It's it's a touchscreen keyboard. So it'll be very interesting to use that. Now, of course, there's one video which I've seen where actually, of course, this is review product, so this isn't actually the final product, that the whole or the right-hand side of the keyboard just is not responsive at all. So on the left-hand side, so where there's the WASD, you can type, that's fine. However, when it gets over to like the M's and the N's, good luck trying to type them. So that does not look good. Now the difference between the KFC consoles page as well as this one is that this is chocked with details. So I'm not going to go through them all. I'm only just going to pinpoint a few things which I think really makes it stand out and deciding factor for me. If you want to go, links in the description below, of course. So now, as I mentioned with the KFC console, it didn't actually necessarily describe what RAM it has. It actually, however, this one, the GPD Win 3 actually does 16 gigabytes of LDDR four times of the RAM. So 4266, I believe that's the speed. So it's pretty good. 16 gigabytes is better than my PC right now. So heck, already one up from what I've already owned. However, this plays Sims pretty well, and I'm assuming this does as well. But sticking with games, which of course this is going to be for gaming. However, because it's a Windows 10 PC, you can actually do your productivity. You could probably watch YouTube. You could probably do all the things you can probably do on a Windows 10 PC. So, like video editing, for example, it's hypothetically possible on this particular handheld device. But then stick with the games. Now, it actually lists a bunch of games right here. Very good games as well, good benchmark type of games, and it has the GPS measured. Now there are two models, the grey one and the white one, and I can't remember which one it is just from the actual listing of the name itself. They're both like 1135G7 and 1165G7. I can't remember which one's which, but for example, GTA 5, this little handheld thing, it can do 74 frame rate of 74 FPS on the lower model and 84 on the higher model, which is fantastic. I mean, incredible. Red Dead Redemption and Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, on the lower model it is roughly around about 47, 45. On the higher one it is not even 60, it's more like 55, 58 as it's listed here. Which still is incredibly, I mean, I still think that's pretty good considering it's, I mean, Flight Simulator, that's quite a demanding thing, as well as Red Dead Redemption, so this thing can pack a punch. But the thing which I found quite interesting is that Uncharted Drake's Fortune, the lower model is only 29 FPS, as the higher one is 35. Now, of course, that may be due to the development of the game. I'm pretty sure, although I'm pretty sure that on the PlayStation 4, the higher models and everything else like that, you could probably, it's upscaled to 60 FPS, I think so, I'm not too sure, but on this little handheld device you can still play it at a playable 30 FPS that is Uncharted. So I mean, it's I know people are like, oh, 60 FPS or nothing, but 30 FPS, I don't mind, man. Oh, of course, the actual screen itself is in 720p, so be warned about, be wary of that. So of course that depends, so I suppose the frame rate that has been listed just then also depends on the settings, so whether it's medium, low, high. But I mean, heck, I don't mind 720p. I mean, for the later titles like Microsoft Flight Simulator, like GTA, Red Dead Redemption 2, 720p is kind of pretty crap considering I play on my PlayStation 5 at a much better resolution. But the best thing is, though, is that it's handheld. It'll be fine for traveling. And the controls look very, very nice, as well as a thumbprint reader as well. So I don't have a problem if I was to buy one of these to game on it. However, the great thing as well is that you can actually have a docking port, which is shown right here on the web page, where you can have Type-C, which I'm assuming is charging. You have Ethernet, a HDMI, so you can hook up to a TV. Pretty good. Or a monitor, either or. And 3 USB slots. So normal USB A or B or whatever. So normal 3 USB slots, which you could just slot in. So that could be your mouse, your keyboard, if you don't want to use the touch one, of course. So, I mean, heck, it has versatility. It has options for you to use. The analog buttons look very nice. Again, mentioned with the controls, they look very nice. Custom buttons on the back, so you could use them, assign them for wherever you want. And then there actually is a large turbo fan for PC, and as well as that, dual heat pipes. And of course, all this is listed, as well as performance comparison of the CPU, which I believe that this hosts an Intel. This has an Intel i7 11th generation, so it's a newer model than the KFC, what they're currently advertising on their website. But again, all these little things can be found on the website. A lot to go in, so I highly recommend that you go down and actually have a look. But from what I've seen in regards to videos and what I've read quite recently, as well as just them, this is my conclusion of whether I would buy one right now. I actually would. I wouldn't, again, with the KFC console, I wouldn't use this as like a main source of my PC duties. So if I wanted to go on a Zoom call for a podcast or to do a meeting, I would not have it in something which is a little bit bigger than this. No. So for productivity wise and for main gaming wise, no. But for something to play with on like a train journey or a car journey, or just if I wanted to just lounge on the couch, I would consider buying one. However, I believe that it's going to be fairly expensive, and plus there's the side of things that I've got a Nintendo Switch, so if I wanted portability, I could just play the Nintendo Switch. Now, of course, on the Nintendo Switch, I can't play GTA 5 or Red Dead 2. However, but the Switch is a Switch and it's cheaper. I already own one, and a Switch has its own charms. But just for a gimmick type of thing, I would definitely buy one. It would be good to try out at least. But price dependent, of course, because I'm not made of money. And I don't think they're going to send me a review one. Oh well. And for the last of the unique consoles that I have found is something that I probably already, spoiler alert, would probably buy for my money. But however, this particular brand is an expensive one, and I could just imagine this being something that will be priced like my left arm. I don't need my left arm. I'm holding my phone right now, but in general use, I don't need my left arm. I'm more of a righty. Of course, I am talking about Alienware Concept UFO. Now, think much like the Win GPD Win 3, as well as the Nintendo Switch, however, but slap the Alienware logo on it and have a screen resolution that is up to 1200p. That's been confirmed, so it's much better and much more crisper than the 721 from the previous item I was talking about. However, this seems to be a lot bigger, it's a lot smoother, and as well as something which can compete with the Nintendo Switch a little bit more so than the previous one, is that the handles on the side of the controllers, the controllers actually slot out, as well as they are actually created to have a grip on the back. So instead of the Nintendo Switch and the GPD Win 3, where it's more flat, or as defined, this is pretty defined, very good grip on the back. So it looks great. I mean, the fact you can take it off, have it in a docked mode, where you could hook it up to a TV or have a little screen in front of you. It does that as well. However, I'm not too sure in regards to ports though, because on this website right here, they haven't really listed much on regards to details. To be honest, no point of me even looking on the website. I mean, I'll link it down below, but there's not much details there. However, I believe that on the bottom is the USB-C type of charging. I don't know whether... I'm assuming you can hook up like a mouse and keyboard with one of those user interface dock station type things. But I'm not too sure. It doesn't really go into too much detail. So, of course, this is listed. It's heck even called a concept. And they've already created one which people at CES 2020 was able to play around with. And as far as I'm aware, they've actually got some pretty good feedback. But there's been no confirmation of a release date, unlike the GPD, where they've actually sent out review cases and everything else like that. So as far as we know, that the concept UFO is only an idea, which they're kind of going through. But let's face it, the handheld market is ever increasing. It's very much like the VR market as well. That's just exploding upon the whole scene. But with this device within itself, where the resolution's better than the Nintendo Switch as well as the last product, I mean, that's already a winner right there. Of course, there may be the Switch Pro, where it may be a lot better than in regards to resolution-wise, but we shall see that. Nothing's been confirmed with that. There's not even been a draw-up sketch of that as far as I'm aware, but then again, I'm not actively looking. So if there is one, comment down below so I can have a look, please. But with Concept UFO, I love the idea. I'm a sucker for Alienware designs. I love the look of their laptops and their desktops. I think it's beautiful. I think that it could be a powerhouse. I mean, as far as I'm aware, on the website, there's nothing there. There's nothing listing the RAM, nothing listing about the GPU or the CPU. They say there's very good thermals at the back, very much like the GPD Win 3. It looks great. I mean, so far from what I've seen in video-wise, it seems to perform very well. But until we see more details appear, and until we see other people getting their hands on it and playing it, is it going to live up to the hype that I've got in my head? Possibly not. I don't think it is going to be... I don't think it's going to be something to overtake your mainstream gaming. So a gaming PC, it's not going to... I don't think it's designed for that, unlike the GPD Win 3. That is where it's a gaming PC. You can just go on the move. There we go. Fine. Even though I've seen one video where it doesn't even run Cyberpunk. Whether the concept UFO will? Heck, we'll see. But I look forward to seeing what comes from this idea. So, heck, who knows? Who knows? It may come into fruition. It may be a certain thing, but it may just fizzle out into the abyss. We shall see. But for me, I'm quite excited for that, as well as Win GPD 3. But with a KFC console, I don't think that's going to be something I'm going to be investing in, unless they have it as a model. Then, too right I will. Too right I will. And there we go. There we go. Yes, I would like to thank you all for joining me for this incredibly long vlog. I do apologize. Yeah, let me know how it went. Any improvements. I'm always open to feedback. But yeah, thank you ever so much for even just tuning into a second of this. It means so much to me. I want to keep up with these vlogs. I want to try and make them more crisp and everything else like that. Give me topics. Suggest me some topics. Or if you want me to just carry on listing off random stuff, which I've been pretty much doing, then by all means, just let me know, please. Thank you ever so much. So consider subscribing, liking, commenting down below, sharing on all social media platforms. And of course, as a reminder, this vlog, as well as future vlogs, has been brought to you by a very good close friend of mine, Game Reviews, or Max as I like to call him. He's one of the reviewers for BG4Ghub. Fantastic reviews. He does his own YouTube channel where he live streams and Let's Plays as well. However, the thing is, though, is that the thumbnail base that I use for this particular series has actually been provided by Max, and he's actually offering to help not just myself, but to a load of other people out there who wants to get into content creation or enhance their content creation by creating a snazzy looking thumbnail. So fantastic work done by Max. Have a look at his page, give him a DM or reply to his embedded tweet. there's a lot you can do. He's very open. You just list, because I tried it. I've done it with him. I've done it firsthand with him. I just said I need something which would be a good layout for like the main subject and something which I can use as a secondary subject. And by all means, he created a very nice and well presented thumbnail base for me to use, and I just added my little bits to it. So Max, thank you, and I strongly suggest that if you want to make a good first impression with a thumbnail, go straight to Max. Thank you ever so much. Oh yeah, and of course a link to his account is in the description. Thank you ever so much once again, and I'll see you on episode 4. Take care, everybody.